Hi, I'm Mike of New Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Due to a slight issue with cameras, it's all gone a bit horribly wrong. I keep mentioning that the camera tools mod by default uses the same keys that I use to start and stop the recording. And every time I keep changing it, and it keeps changing back, and that's rather annoying. So I was in the middle of landing this thing, which is basically just an inventory box on a very cheap lander. So literally, the cunning plan was to just finish the landing and come down and hopefully impress you all. But when I hit my let's start recording, it immediately jumped to another camera, which is not what I wanted at all, and that confused me, and that meant that I actually missed my suicide bin window. But it doesn't actually matter because I've actually only lost the engine, which I don't care about anymore. Now I do care about the fact that I'm kind of sliding down. Oh, that may have been a mistake. Okay. Sliding, I think, possibly could have just been fine. We stopped? I'm genuinely unsure. I think we've stopped. Okay. Alright, so that's not ideal. I also undershot, as I always seem to do with these things. So as you can see, I'm 3.4 kilometers away. And I ran out of Delta V to do anything fancy, and then I kind of smashed into the ground. But this, hopefully, if I remembered to pack it, but I can't check until someone actually comes over and looks at it. That should be the BTDT scanner and a screwdriver to attach it. So I'm going to head over to Mun Hopper III, which actually has my Kerbals in it. And I'm going to see if I can fetch this, because it turns out I have contracts to do. I very cleverly, and by very cleverly I mean being really stupid, and I ended up I'd mined a lot of ore, and then I turned that ore to liquid fuel. I didn't turn the ore mines off, so I'm now full of ore as well as monoprop and fuel. So that's taken a lot of my Delta V away, some of my Delta V away, because I don't need that ore when I'm going anyway. That's going to be slightly irritating when I start thinking about going to the anomaly which I have decided to go to. So let's type selection, probes. Oh, that's not aggravating at all. Oh, there we go. So I've now set that as a target. Actually, that's not terribly useful, I suddenly realise. Until a Kerbal actually comes out and goes and has a look. So I've forgotten which one of these fine folks is our no, this is our engineer. Because I remembered my orange suit engineer is... I can't possibly need a surface sample. Yeah, surface sample already exists. That's silly. Oh, I have got the same target. That's brilliant. I'm just gonna go inside again and dump that, just purely to dump that experiment. I've just realised that actually Bob, it's Nabella he's the engineer, and I know that because you keep saying surface sample. No, stop that. My orange suit engineer is on Duna, so I know Bob is not the engineer of this group. I don't know if you need to be an engineer to do Kerbal inventory program stuff, inventory system stuff, but stop telling me to get a surface sample, you stupid thing. There you go. Getting on and off the ladder is an entertaining process. Right, 3 clicks there, 3 clicks back. That should be doable. I really should get myself a rover. Fuel. Yeah, just stop that. I'm just being annoying now. Wait. Okay, so RCS on. There we go, off we go. Put the engineer readout on. So I've moved some of my icons from the main toolbar down into this little toolbar here. There are a few I would have much preferred to have. Let's put your lights on. Is that your lights? There we go. That's better. Wait, I was going to wait until I waited to land when it was getting on to dawn, but I think I could have waited a bit and kind of got it closer to dawn. Or maybe I should have waited a bit until it was actually light, but never mind. Off we trot. Everything's fine. So yeah, this is rather neat. By moving some of the icons from here down to here, using the toolbar mod, I've got more room up here, and I'm not getting this readout obscured by oops, by tool icons, which is neat. Oh, that looked very painful. Very fortunate. I've never had a Kerbal actually kind of demise from smashing into the ground, except from orbit. In fact, not even from orbit, really. Oh, do hush. I've actually managed to you know, fairly safely land Kerbals, grinning away like a lunatic, falling more or less from orbit on Kerbin. They've actually survived, so that's probably good. Will you? But they will you stop ragdolling? Will you get up? Right, are you done? No, you're not done. All right. Oh, science alert is just being aggravating now. Just shut up. I'm gonna have to remember to turn that off, or put everything back on later on. But look at it! Look how happy she is. That is ridiculous. I just smashed into the moon at fairly high speed. Yay! Right, off we trot. Let's try that again, only without the smashing into the moon part. Okay, we're doing alright. So I'm going to keep an eye on my vertical speed. Everything should be fine. Oy. Yeah, I definitely could have done with waiting until it was slightly lighter, which I could still do really. So away we head. So hopefully what I'm going to be able to do is get to the inventory on there, grab the BTDT scanner and the screwdriver. I really should have waited until it was light. See, the sun is just poking its head out over the hills, but it's not really. Yeah, things are still pretty much in shadow. Yeah, so grab the BTDT scanner and the screwdriver and head back. And oh, I can just put that up. There we go. And then attach the BTDT scanner to Mun Hopper 3, and then Mun Hopper 3 can go start looking at anomalies. I've actually had a thing. I'm not quite sure. I'm crashing into the ground. This is very bad. No. Oh, nuts. Can't talk and pilot at the same time. This is very clear. Oh, well, never mind. I had a thing. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I kind of think I'm going to blame the admin building back at the Space Center. All my contracts got nuked, like all of them. I have almost no completed contracts, except for I got a repeat of contracts that I'd already done before. But all of my other contracts have gone. Contracts I was going to do, my contract history, the whole thing. Which is obviously a bit sucky, but it does mean that I do get to just only do the contracts I want to do, and not contracts that I'm uninterested in. So I've got myself while I'm bouncing around. I've got myself. She's still grinning like a lunatic. I've got a few contracts to get to anomalies. You may remember last episode. If you're watching last episode, there was a point where I kind of, hey, why is the monolith on the grasslands? Why does that have a waypoint over it? It's because I actually got a contract which I thought was go get one of the anomalies I haven't seen yet. It was actually go get all the magnetic anomalies. And similarly, I've got a Mun one, which I think you can't see. Are we finished? No, we're still going. I've got a. Let's get a map mode. I've got a Mun one to get to these mystery areas, which apparently are archers. So given that I now have a contract, which is a thing I've wanted for a while. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I particularly want a BTDT scanner if I'm going to be doing contract stuff. If I'm going to be going to anomalies, I really, really want that BTDT scanner. So if Nabella, I think it is, if she at any point stops ramming her head into the ground. Yep, Nabella. Max absorb garment. I do hope that doesn't mean that she's running out of hit points. She's still going at nearly 7 meters a second. She's still also grinning like an idiot. How can anyone have so much fun just smash? I mean, I suppose maybe if you've got a particularly bouncy, look at that. Because the instant I look at her face, suddenly she's smashing into the ground again. But she's still grinning like an idiot. This is madness. Oh, stop! I suppose I have a few gripes about Kerbal Space Program, but not being able to stop yourself ragdolling is one of them. Especially when you got these big, you would have thought in moments like this you'd be able to catch yourself or something, but no. So I'm basically stuck until she stops bouncing around the landscape. I'm pretty sure I would have been there by now if you hadn't, well, if I hadn't. It's my own. I mean, it is my own fault. I mean, I can't really blame anybody else. Look at that happy smiling face. I don't know. I mean, the surface of the Mun seems to be incredibly low friction. I mean, you saw that kind of with the inventory launcher itself, where you just slid and slid and slid and slid and slid. I can kind of understand like the surface of the flat surfaces, the minimus on the flats. You can kind of understand that being very, very smooth, such that you can slide great distances. But it seems a bit weird that the Muna Regolith. Oh, that's not looking good. The Muna Regolith, you would have thought would be a bit more sticky, or something like you'd have thought you wouldn't be sliding. Whoa, you would have thought you wouldn't be sliding quite so much. Should I have taken the whole ship? Is what I'm now beginning to wonder. Are we slowing down? How are we doing? 2 point odd. Get under 2 meters a second. No, we've just gone back over 2 meters a second. Horizontal speed. Whoa, I just picked up speed. What is going on here? Possibly some vertical speed got translated into horizontal or something. Some of the bouncing seems to violate the conservation of energy that one is used to in the real world. Oh, for heaven's sake. She's been bouncing for minutes now. I think part of it is her speed gets low enough that she tries to stand, and that kicks the physics. That gives the physics a kick. She's just not stopping, and she's speeding up as well. Look at that. She's now going 6 meters a second. I mean, she's going a bit downhill, but I really don't think not that much, because she was going at less than 2 meters a second not too long ago, and now she's just rocketing forwards. And now it's just going way down again. Wow. I should do like a time speed graph. I think that would be interesting. Kind of get an idea of are these bouncers gaining or losing energy. But I have a sneaking suspicion that like just then, what I think just happened then, is that she briefly hit. Bits of her actually went underneath the surface, and then the physics went, wait a minute, and went and kicked her off. Ba-dumph. So she could just keep going forever, really. Yeah, you can see just these. She does just keep. Oh man! Going almost perpendicular to. the launcher. She's still slightly approaching it. She's still slightly going to nearly 10 meters a second. Oh, over 10 meters a second. She's picking up speed. This is ridiculous. So much for my... And then I went and fetched the scanner and I put it on my ship. Now I'm just watching the physics go mad. Where's the sun? Sun's behind there. I don't know if she's ever going to stop. 12 meters a second. Heaven's sake. Now she's really whirling down the hill, which I suppose makes sense. But a lot of this is just the physics being wonky. Now she's getting further away. Yeah, she's getting further away now. This is just the physics being immensely wonky. Is she going to take off? She's going to take off soon. And there's nothing I can do. I just cannot stop this. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, at what point is she going to achieve orbital velocity? Lordy Lord, 16 and a half meters a second, 17 meters a second. She's just gaining speed every time she hits. Am I going to have to do another long walk? Well, I'm kind of cross about that, to be perfectly honest, because I don't think that was my fault. I mean, falling down was kind of my fault, and fair enough. But I do not believe that she should have gone from hitting the ground at a few meters a second, going all the way down to 2 meters. She'd got her speed down to 2 meters a second. And then she ended up just glitching physics-wise up until some huge distance. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Well, if nothing else, I may have to go send Bob out. That's really rather aggravating. I'm going to decide. That's really depressing. That is, I think, slightly unfair, to be perfectly honest. I don't have a quick save because I'm an idiot. I didn't think I needed one. Yes, well, Nabella killed by essentially I'm going to say killed by the Kraken, because that was definitely weird physics. How depressing. So there you go. Yeah, so if you like depressing stories about Kerbals, then like and subscribe videos for more videos exactly like this. Man. Yes. Find Neil F. Dice at neilfdice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach for the stars and don't trust the physics engine.